Warning: the following broadcast features thoughts, ideas, and opinions you might find offensive. If you're easily angered, insulted, hurt, provoked, outraged, or annoyed, the following may offend you. The views expressed in this show are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of YouTube or Google. So please, don't flag this video. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm so sorry that we kept you waiting once again. I'm really hoping this is coming through properly. I'm so sorry. Ooh, sorry. Oh my god. No, I've got my. Hang on. I've got my thing on. There you go. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mute my computer. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I had audio issues again. I really hope you can hear Vicky. Vicky, do you want to...
Yeah, hey guys, what's up? Sorry I'm late again. You really need to start earlier next time.
It's just us figuring out, like, I haven't streamed with another person just directly this way for a while, so it's hilarious. And I want to see if, oh, hey Dave, hey Chris, I want to see if Lee comes into the chat. I have a funny thing that I can throw up on the screen that I want to show him. That happened when I was trying to sort this out to do with Lee. Anyway, thank you for coming. This is episode 2 of Does This Offend You? This time we decided to take a different journey, and we thought it probably works better if we grab 2 films that kind of focus on one overall theme. And surprisingly, we both haven't seen Proxy, I believe, or we both seen Inside. I just assumed that.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it's not really the same theme. Kind of, but not really. I just want to put out the warning straight away that, yes, we are talking about offensive topics that some people can find triggering, especially talking about pregnancy, I guess. But we don't mean this in an offensive way. I know that you can say anything and be like, but I don't mean it like that. But it's just meant to be an open chat. Everyone be respectful in the comments, but it's just meant to be an open chat so we can actually talk about like the deeper, I don't know, more taboo subjects that horror covers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that a good disclaimer?
Yes, it is. They get it. Everyone here knows. They know to be nice.
I'm going to check out
Without not being.
I hope that
Being serious, but not serious.
Okay, they say the audio's echoey. I hope not. Oh, it says echo. Oh, that might have just been my,
Just Zachary says echo, though, so how reliable.
Let me know now, though. Thank you so much for being here. I see Dean, my boyfriend's on the chat while he's, like, walking the dog. I see Zachary, old friend Zachary. I say Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris always gives good shout-outs on Twitter.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And consistent, too. Like, you're a real MVP, Chris.
And John and Dave, who are both patrons of mine, good mates. Actually, Dave, I should make you a moderator. I don't think I've even got you as a moderator, Vicky. I only make all my patrons moderators. And hey, Diva Ducks, always supporting as well. Yes. Okay, now we're finally here. I'm so sorry about all the issues. I want to pull my hair out. I really did. Can you see it? Poor Vicky. She's just like on the chat to me while we're on Skype, and I'm like, like having a heart attack. I'm so sorry.
It was literally a reversal of what we did last month, though. Yeah. I was freaking out at Emma. Poor Emma just had to sit there and wait.
Also, I want to say quickly, we have a poll going on, I guess, Nightmare Maven's Twitter. I'll share it now as well, now that I can relax for a second. I'm glad this is working. Yeah. So make sure you go and check out that poll. It's just does it offend you, just so you guys can give us your feedback.
Yeah. So at the end of the stream, you can pick whichever you guys found more offensive.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, do you want to, I think that we should definitely start with Inside. Wait, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm get inside out of the way, even though it's like so fucked up. Because Proxy is like, there's so much to say about Proxy.
Yeah,
we were just talking before.
No, I agree. Since we both watched it inside.
Yeah. We were talking before about how that you should see the notes that we wrote. Mine are like pitiful on Inside, because if you guys haven't seen Inside, it's all like kind of situated in one scene, and it's just like one topic, and it doesn't really. There's not actually a lot of dialogue either. So yeah, I had like 2 words for my notes, but Vicky went in, so I'll let you introduce the film. You're much better at that than me.
Okay. Should I just, you want me to intro it like I did last time?
Yeah.
Summary?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Nobody's worried about spoilers, right?
You've come to the wrong place.
Are we worried about that?
I don't think so.
Whatever, we're going to talk about the whole movie anyway, so at some point it's going to get spoiled. So, for anybody who hasn't seen Inside, I'll give you a little summary. While driving in the rain, one day expectant mother Sarah is in a car crash with another vehicle that kills her husband. 4 months later, it's Christmas Eve, and Sarah is staying home alone. She's planning on giving birth the next day, on Christmas Day. That night, however, a strange woman starts harassing her in her home and eventually breaks in and attacks her. Sarah locks herself in the bathroom while the woman, who discloses that she is here for Sarah's baby, attacks and kills anyone that tries to help Sarah. And that's pretty much the movie. I'll save the big ending until we start discussing it.
Yeah. Which, I think this is the second time I've watched it. I thought the second time was so predictable, but I guess that's what happens when you watch a movie like that. Also, it's more like, she's like a mysterious stranger, and you're not really even caring, because like in horror movies, they get away, like strangers or whatever. You get away all the time with not having a reason. Like funny games. And I'm so used to not having a reason in horror movies, I don't really think that they always have to explain it as long as it's like captivating and interesting. So it was interesting that they gave it a reason. Anyway, where do we start? The themes in this? I don't know. What do you want to start with? The pregnancy? Should we just talk about our feelings about pregnancy in horror movies?
That's a good one. So seeing as it's like the theme of the stream,
yeah.
too. Kind of.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts on pregnancy in horror movies in general, I do think that there are some really good ones. I love Revenge. It's one of my favorite ones. Have you seen Revenge yet?
I will confess, I've only... Thank you, Diva Ducks. She just gave you a super chat.
Oh, thank you so much. Us, Vicky. Yeah. I'm splitting everything with Vicky, by the way. I'm not fucking doing that. Okay. Anyway, yeah, as you were saying.
Right.
You haven't seen Revenge?
I will confess, yeah, I've seen, like, the first, 20 minutes or so of it. To be fair, I started watching it when I really, didn't have time to watch a movie. Everyone was talking about it, so I was like, let me start it. And then I'm like, I really can't sit here and watch this because I have other things to do, so I just never finished it yet.
I don't think that's, something to confess, because it's just a new movie. I haven't probably saw it, under a year ago, so I wouldn't be ashamed at any point. Anyway, there are some good movies, such as Inside, and Revenge. Probably my favourite pregnancy. I guess Rosemary's Baby. Films that are okay because they have almost another message with it. Especially Revenge. It's more about her as well. And obviously the actress who is the director, actress, and she was a writer as well. And she was 7 months pregnant when she was in the film. So she was actually pregnant. Yeah, that's why it's such a big deal, because it's she did it all. Literally, she did it all. So films like that are a little bit different. She created the role around her. But in all honesty, there are so many, I wish I had some examples. I probably should have written down some examples. There are a lot of movies where the woman is pregnant, and that's just the only reason that she should be protecting herself or anyone should worry about her. It's kind of like that women and children mentality. Women and children have to go first, which, I'm not going to go against. But, but I I feel like for a woman to be valued sometimes in horror movies, she needs to be pregnant. And I feel like it's just a cheap way to use that. And I feel like we should save the pregnancy horror movies for, like, there's so many. Like, it's insane how many, but I feel like we've used it a lot, and unless it has an original, something to bring to the table, it's a little bit boring when, you know, they're all running away, but one woman's pregnant, so they must protect her.
Right, yeah.
I just feel like it's just like trying to build the stakes without giving it a better reason.
Yeah, it's like a cheap way to get people invested in it.
Yeah.
Without having a meaning.
There you go.
No, I totally agree. On that. And there are a lot. I think it's for that reason why there's so many pregnancy horror movies, because like you automatically feel like more. At least for me too, I feel more apprehensive if someone in the movie is pregnant. Because I'm just like, I don't know how that stuff works. So like, I'm always like, oh my gosh, she like falls or something like that. Just like, maybe she's gonna come shooting out or something. It makes me all like sensitive. I'm not emotionally mature enough for that sort of thing. Yeah. So it makes me super extra anxious when somebody is pregnant.
Yeah.
And I say somebody, woman is pregnant.
Or man, whatever.
I guess, where's that horror movie, you know?
True that. Well, it is. What's that movie? Milo? Bad Milo. Have you seen that? I guess it's not pregnant, but he's got like a demon up in his intestines, and then every time someone's mad to him, it crawls out and kills them. It's pretty amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it sounds hell cheese, but it's actually like shot really well and like super emotional. I'm not selling you at all. Okay. So that's kind of how we feel. I don't know how you guys feel in the comments about pregnancy and horror movies. But yeah, obviously, Rosemary's Baby is one movie that because it's not even really about her being pregnant. It's about her like figuring out what's going on around her. It's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is funny because my mom, like when I said like, oh, we're gonna do like a pregnancy episode, and she's like, you're not talking about Rosemary's Baby, and I was like, yeah, but it's not really controversial for her being pregnant.
Yeah.
Like really, funnily enough, like there's so much else going on.
Yeah.
It's not really about that.
Your mom's sick. That's so cool.
Don't get me wrong, she doesn't really like horror movies.
Yeah.
But only the non-gory ones, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's general thoughts on pregnancy.
Okay, so the themes in this movie: pregnancy and gore. That's all that's in this movie. Like, it is just gore. And when I say gore, there's like, how many casualties are there? I think there's like 5. It's like her friend, her mum, the 2 cops, and then another cop who comes in as well first. Or is it 4 cops? I think there's 3 cops and the other guy. So yeah there's a lot.
She has so many chances to be saved, and it's just like cutting them all down.
Yeah, and it is the goriest, one of the goriest films. I don't know how much blood. I would love to know how much blood they actually use in this film. It's actually insane.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Chance. That's so sweet of you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and hi, Christopher. Yeah. Sorry. We were there. This is one of the most gory movies I've probably seen, and I'd love to know how much blood they actually used. Especially because it's so contrasting against a lot of the movie. She's kind of trapped in that bathroom, and they've used like a green light, and it's like that greeny, almost like Saw look, where it's like hell grungy and tinted, and against the blood, it definitely, it sticks with you. There's also
not to mention it's like a white tile bathroom, so like by the time she finally leaves the bathroom, it's like everything is red.
Yeah, it's like
blood covered.
It's like it, you know, like in the in the bathroom scene. I would say that probably the most offensive gore in that film has to be the cutting open of the stomach. Which Which is actually so funny because inside a couple of the posters or promotions of the film had the scissors on there, and you always know when a film has scissors on its cover that they're going to come into play, which is really funny because I rewatched Antichrist last night, which also has scissors on the front. Have you seen Antichrist?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. There's a very controversial scene with scissors in that. And it was just, I made the connection. I was like, I'm never going to watch a film that has scissors on the cover anymore. It never turns out well for anybody. But yeah, you actually see her like cut open her stomach, and it's terrifying. Yeah, that's all I want to say about the ball. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Seth.
Thank you, Hell Knight. May the force be with you. Yes.
Everyone's really mad because we did this on the 4th of May.
It's not where Emma is right now.
Yeah, it's the 5th of May here. Same with Seth, though. Hell Knight. He's a Nolan, so that's really funny. Yeah, so, but, I mean, is gore offensive in horror movies? Is my question, I guess, to you. What do you think?
Gore in general? No. I think it gets made more offensive because, like what we were talking about, because it's a pregnant woman. Which, I mean, to be fair, like, giving birth is not a clean thing anyway, but I guess it's just made even more offensive by how she has to give birth in this movie. Like, literally having her stomach cut open with a pair of scissors, which is, again, not something that's not totally unheard of. Like, there's such thing as C-sections, but it's like something extra brutal about just being like literally cut open like paper. So I don't think that gore in general is offensive, but there's just something that elevates it when it's on a pregnant woman, I guess. It just makes it more intense, which you can't really like place, I guess. I don't know.
You know what gore I find really intense? I don't think it's gore, but death with fire. I always think when there's fire, and in this film there is fire. There is like when she gets the like a aerosol can, and she's
like
there's a couple other films that have. I don't want to give one away because I spoke about it recently. It's not too much of an old film, but there's so many films that have when someone catches on fire, and I think it's like probably the most disturbing way someone can die. Just visually as well, like you can see that like their flesh is melting off and they're so aware of what's happening to them. And I felt like that was almost more disturbing. Or even this is awful. Like I'm not gonna lie, I probably was like this the whole time. But with literally burning someone alive, you can see her like cower away, and then she turns back to the camera and she's just like half her face is melted off, and it's just the saddest thing. And all of a sudden you feel sorry for her, even though she's like the villain. Yeah,
I like that, and I like that. Like she has those moments. The woman, which if you haven't seen it, she doesn't have a name. She's just the woman. Is her character name. She has those moments where she kind of like sits back, like after she's had a confrontation with Sarah, and she's like nursing her wounds and things like that make her a little more human and to make you. And when you find out why she's going after Sarah and why she's doing this, you do kind of feel bad for her in a way. Like you're kind of just like, okay, I can kind of see. Like you're crazy, but I can kind of see why you.
And I think that's why the film gets away with what it gets away with, because it does have like a second kind of meaning in there. There is like a payoff to it almost, but a payoff that I didn't even have to have it in there. Like the film is so intense and it's so captivating the whole time. Like there's not one moment which is like still and I don't know, like everything is like insane, so intense, and it really goes for it. That by the time it comes to the end, you're not even thinking about why she's doing it. You're just like trying like. Survive! Like, get through it! So that's what I really like about Inside.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, do we have any, like, other than pregnancy and lots of murder, there's not really other, like, really offensive things, even though it is known as, like, being one of the most intense foreign films, I would say. Like, I say that when people talk about martyrs, they talk about Inside not too far afterwards. People just find it really, really gruesome, I guess. But it's not really an offensive film.
Yeah, I don't think so. In my notes, Emma pointed out before we started, I wrote down stuff about Christmas.
Yeah. Get into it. School me.
Which, well, I didn't actually even think about it the very first time I saw Inside, because there's nothing really, Christmassy about it, usual, Christmas horror films really play up the, creepy Christmas, they utilize the lights and things like that to make it extra creepy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, it's more just, it's happening on this day, really, but I was looking for other stuff to kind of pick up on when I was
pulling everything out of it.
Time, because I already knew everything that was going to happen. And I mean, I don't know, people tend to get offended over religious things too. Not me personally, but so I thought it was interesting how it is Christmas Eve when the story starts, and she's planning to induce labor the next day, right? She has, the plan to go to the hospital, that's what she's going to do. So I found that kind of interesting, and then in the way that the woman is, she reveres this child, it has to be this child for that specific reason that she's doing this. And then on top of the fact that Sarah is now alone because her husband is dead, so she's kind of the Mary figure, I guess.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
And the child is a miracle because it's survived crash. And
yeah. You're like, come on, give me it. I did it.
Come on.
Good work pulling that one out of nothing. The symbolism.
There's layers.
There's so many layers. I actually haven't seen any interviews on this. I'd really like to see some interviews with the directors to actually see what they were going for. Because, like I said, it's not a bad film, and normally when I say that, I mean it about bad films, but it's just were they just out to just make the glorious, French film of all time? And if so, they did it, I think. So, bravo. Oh, there you go. Felicia just said that Christmas Eve is also a very family-oriented type time. So I feel like something to do with that. Yeah, you guys are on the same wavelength. I'm just ooh, go! That's funny. Ryan said before, just a little while ago, I'm offended that foreign horror has been better than American horror for the last 10 years. I want to count myself as foreign horror, Australia? Foreign? Everyone's always what do they call it? What do they call it? Non-English speaking horror. That's what some people call foreign horror because they don't want to include the UK and me. And New Zealand. But I would say New Zealand is foreign horror even to me, so anyway.
Yeah. I just think for anything that's not from the US.
Yeah. Which is so weird. Because it's for me then technically you guys are foreign horror,
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway. Thank you, horror fan for life. Does Canada count as foreign? That is a good question. That might be a stretch. Do you count it? I think that would. Well, this whole American Mary sitch, where I got told off because I was like, why is it called American Mary? It's in Canada. And everyone's like, Canada's America. It's North America. And I was like, stretch. Are you stretching? Because I feel it. Oh, there you go. There's Tom. Thomas, he is one of my patrons, and he is from Canada. So he can tell us. Are you foreign? Are you foreign, Tom?
Are you foreign? Explain American Mary.
It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're not here to talk about American Mary today. No, I could. But I think, did we touch on all of the points that you had for that one?
Yeah, I think we covered even my last one, kind of breaking into somebody's home / room.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was good. I really actually thought that was a really good point, breaking into somebody's. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. Well, I thought of it too, and they give I didn't even write this down, but I want to know what you think about it. Throughout the movie, how they kind of show, I guess you could say, the reactions of the fetus.
like the
whenever she
graphic.
gets like hit or something, and you like they have like that terrible CGI
Yeah.
like inside her uterus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't think you probably would be either. It just didn't need it. I understand that they were trying. What they could have done is even like a close up on just the belly from the outside, and have her like. I think that was going to be the moment like, oh my god, the baby's in trouble, baby in trouble, like, you know. And I like that people overlook that. Like one thing I really do like is that people overlook that looking into this film. And that's when you can tell that people actually really like the idea and like the way that the film was put together. Outside of it, I think that's really cool. I love when there's like a movie that everyone thinks is like great, but it has so many shitty aspects, but it's because it's like got the soul that everyone wants, so everyone just overlooks it. But any other film that's like Hollywood, like box office, has like the littlest flaw, everyone's just like in for it. I think that's cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as a fan.
No, that is good. I'm glad that so many people overlook it. To me, like, at least when I was watching it the second time, it felt very much like they were spoon feeding, like, she's pregnant, remember? She's pregnant.
She's like carrying her belly around.
Like, we would forget if we didn't see the actual baby. Like, oh yeah, that's still there.
I actually thought she was quite clever as well. Like, the whole camera, like her being a photographer setup, was just so random in there. But it added an extra layer when she was like taking photos. It reminded me of that scene in I was bringing up Saw, that Australian horror. That scene in Saw, you know, when he's like taking photos in the closet. I would not think to do that. She had balls or wooden parts. She was great. I actually really liked the main chick in that. Inside, I thought she was great. Good. Her character was great, and she acted really well. So.
Yeah. Swapping it after dark analysis. Wait, she's pregnant? In case you forgot.
Yeah, totally. Team Duxer said, the idea of pregnancy scares the shit out of me, so to add horror on top of that kind of mess.
Thank you. Yes.
I feel like Vicky and I are not equipped to talk about this, because I assume Vicky don't have a baby on the back there.
No.
So... I didn't feel like maybe we should have got Gory B or something to weigh in on that.
To weigh in?
Yeah, because I feel like we're not really. John said that he saw a movie called October Baby, and it was the most depressing movie I've seen in years. Okay, well, I'm going to need you to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Ben says that Juno was a good pregnancy movie. I'm actually not a fan of Juno. It's too quirky turkey, as I like to say. It does a lot. I love a good Alan Page film, but I'm more like a hard... Do you like Bob's Burgers? That's what that's from.
Yeah.
I love Alan Page, but I'm more of like a hard candy fan, you know? Like, that's more my style than... yeah. Anyway. Do we find Proxy... Sorry, Inside... I'm reading it. Do we find Inside offensive?
Emma really wants to move on.
I know, I'm so obsessed with this film. What do you think?
I think if it was my first watch, I would have said yes. But second time around, I didn't find it as offensive or anything this time around.
So why do you think...
I don't know if it's just because I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
And last time it was more just like, you know, like all in, like the intensity of the violence and the pregnancy on top of everything.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't think it's offensive. I do think it's full on. I think it's very gory, and I would not recommend it to people who do not like horror movies at all. Like, you know how so many movies that you're just like, you should watch this anyway, like it has other points in it, there's just no point. Like, it's just all gore. Yeah.
It's all violence.
Totally.
Yes. Okay. So, Proxy.
I think that's where we're going, guys. If you want to. This film is insane. If you guys haven't seen this film, I feel really bad, but we're going to have to spoil it because it's just like there's too many twists and turns. I was literally watching it and texting Vicky. I was messaging her. I was like, oh my god, like, you don't get it. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize it was... I was like, no, you don't understand. I was like going crazy at her. I was like, this is not what we thought.
I know when I sat down and watched it, I was just like, wow. Like,
say what we assumed it was about beforehand?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
You go.
I was gonna say, I think what for me misled me was because when we decided to watch this, all I did was look it up on IMDb and read like the 2 sentences of a summary that it has, which is just like it just says, I'm gonna read it. It says, the life of 3 parents who have all shared the loss of a child. Motives are not what they seem. Insanity is in short supply. So I was kind of just like, okay. So we got 3 separate stories. It's what? It's an anthology. It's about. I don't know. It was like that. The summary is super misleading, and the cover too. It makes you think it's going to be all about the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Or at least the one poster with the like ultrasound.
Yeah.
Photo. So I think that aided.
I didn't look up anything into it at all because I knew sometimes I only look up films if I am not sure whether I think it would suit like my taste or if I should even watch it. So that's when I normally look up films. Or like when I'm looking through and seeing someone's like work in the back and I just want to see how they make connections. Anyway, so I had heard actually Seven, he's gone now, but he had told me a couple of times to watch Proxy. And then when we spoke about doing a pregnancy episode, I was like, why don't we do Proxy because I haven't seen it. And I'd seen, like, there's Grace. There's a couple of ones that are floating around, I think, on Netflix and stuff now. But I've seen them all, and I wanted to see something that was a little bit different. And I literally, the word proxy, which I should have pulled this up beforehand. The definition of the word proxy is not what I thought it was either. And I looked this up when I was watching the film. I was like, what has this got to do with? Did you? The authority to represent someone else, especially in voting, or a figure that can be used to represent the value of something in calculation. When I hear the word proxy, I'm sorry, I assume like sci-fi-ish. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just like it and then the cover of it is like the normal poster that I guess the more popular poster is just like a white cover and then just like the baby. And I just thought it was going to be like maybe some robots having a baby. I don't know. I thought maybe the baby was like, I don't know, had powers or something. It just does not seem anything like what it's about. You're like dying right now. You know what I mean? It doesn't look anything like that. Oh my god, it is. Yeah, so do we want to describe what it's about? Do you want to get in there? Because it's nothing about what we thought it was about. Like, it's not even about the pregnancy. It's insane.
Okay, I have a point in like my summary that I wrote down that I could stop.
Okay. How do you guys feel about...
We're going to talk about everything anyway. Yeah.
I don't want to, like, hold back just because I know, like, just because I don't want to ruin it for these people. I just feel like this is what the stream's about, and I'd rather have you guys here, but I'd also, like, want to talk about it as well. So let's just talk about it. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
You'll still love it.
Cool, yeah. Get ready. Yeah, you'll be fine. So while walking home from her latest OB appointment, a very pregnant Esther Woodhouse is brutally attacked and disfigured by a hooded assailant. This horrible event seems to be a blessing in disguise when Esther finds consolation in her new friend Melanie, who she meets at a support group for women who have lost people, a child, a family member. And when Esther finds out Melanie only pretends that her family is dead for attention, Esther takes matters into her own hands to make sure Melanie never lies again. With her son and Esther now dead, Melanie and her husband Patrick find solace in different ways that end up tearing their marriage apart. And that's what this movie is about. Nothing like we had yet.
Yeah, the movie is like a twist and a turn. So at the start, when you can tell that she doesn't want the baby though, she's at the office at the very start. Did you not see that? She was like,
that was the first thing I wrote down. I was like, okay, so she clearly doesn't want the baby.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the movie's about.
So she's in the doctor's office at the start, and then she goes to walk home, and then she's like beaten up, and they go in with that. What does he have like or she? You don't find out later. Has a brick, and slamming down on the fucking pregnant belly, and I was like, holy fuck, and I actually thought of you. I was like, you're not going to be able to take this, like, it's too much. Because it's a lot, especially since if you knew where it was going to go, you know it actually doesn't matter, which is so bad. But that is, like, not the most intense part by anything, but it's just for that to happen at the start of the movie, you're like, okay, well, the baby's lost, the movie has a baby on the cover, you assume it's about pregnancy, like, what are we going to be doing for the next 2 hours? Like, because, like, it was ridiculous. But I think it was so interesting the way they put it all together. It is the most captivating thing. Like, I was so, like, I don't know, like, attached to this film. Even though I wouldn't say it's the best production-wise film, it's a little bit cheesy. And you can tell, like, the production's not all there. But the story is just insane. And just to open up like that, I was just like, I am already offended.
I have a quote from the director about the opening that I found, which I thought was interesting, because, like, you were right, because when it happened, I was just like, oh my god, okay.
I know.
Cool, we're watching this full on. But Azul is actually right, was on purpose. So this is what Zach Parker is the same, the director? Yeah. Had to say about the opening. This is in an interview with The Wrap. He said, I knew I had to hit the audience hard early on. I like stories that take their time, easing you into a character and the world they live in. I knew that if I could knock the audience off balance quickly, give them the sense that anything could happen in this film, it would earn me the time to begin building the story. It's an unspoken promise. Stick with me, and something this horrific may just happen again, and it does. So that was like...
That is like a great quote. It's very telling of the film. But just from there, you just think that, oh, it can't get any worse. And then it just all shifts gear completely. I don't know, should we talk about, like, the theme? Like, I don't even know how to talk about this without prefacing, like, the whole fact that this film is actually about mental illness, in a way, I would say. It's a mental illness. Untreated mental illnesses taking, like, fine fucking form. And also, like, very uncommon mental illnesses. And Felicia did say that the word proxy actually refers to Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which makes complete sense, because obviously that is I guess, well, I don't know what the definition of it, but it's, from what I know, it's about when, you know, someone likes to make, this is not going to sound like a definition, makes their children sick or have a disability so that they can get attention from it. And I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't even connect that was Munchausen to what was happening, but it is. It totally is. And you can see this in movies like Sixth Sense. There's like a really, I mean, that's what's her face when she's a child. What is her face? OC. You know what I mean? Misha Barton. When she's a kid.
I was never going to remember that.
She's, in Sixth Sense, she's the kid that, you know, is throwing up all the time, and it's because I believe it's her stepmom is poisoning her, and that's like one of the most famous cases of Munchausen, I guess, in a movie that everyone would know. It's so, did you just see that? It says this message is held for review, but you guys can all see it because it's screenshotted from my screen. So, what's that word? Oh, another moderator just handed me. Super everywhere. Proxy, bitches be cray cray. I wonder if Munchausen can take effect in men. That'd be very interesting to know. Because I don't know. Anyway, that makes complete sense, and I guess it's meant to be misleading for a reason, like the proxy. So I like that. Thanks for filling us in with that, Felicia. That makes so much sense.
All of a sudden the light turned out like,
yeah, that's what we're doing. But yeah, this film. Vicky and I were talking last time at the end of the last stream about subjects that are controversial in horror movies, so that we could like kind of figure out some things for you guys. And one of the big ones we came across was mental illness, because obviously, and I mean, I'm sure like everyone we know has either struggled personally or knows someone who struggles, so I have total respect for that. But it is one of those things that are very controversial in films, and especially in horror movies, because you can glamorize it, or I guess not glamorize it in a horror movie. That's more like,
but
yeah, because that's more like rom-coms, you know what I mean, where they glamorize like mental illness. But, you know, exploit it to a certain sense. So I was not expecting, I have major echo, and probably is my voice. I was not expecting this film to have mental illness at all, like at all.
yeah. Well, to be fair, we both had a very warped idea of what this movie was going to be.
Yeah.
But it does relate to pregnancy and motherhood in a way, both of, I guess, how their mental illnesses like work or how they manifest. I'm probably gonna offend everybody trying to talk about like what's going on inside their mind.
Yeah.
I don't know the proper terms or ways to talk about stuff like that, so I apologize in advance. But I guess we can talk about that and go into detail about what they're doing in this movie.
Yeah, sure.
So like I said, like their mental illnesses kind of both revolve around being a mom or being pregnant. So for Esther, like we were saying, she doesn't, like, it's clear when the movie opens that she doesn't want the child, and she even like says so in so many words to the technician who's doing her ultrasound. Like, she really enjoys being pregnant, and that's like a big clue, but she doesn't want to be a mom. And then she later on explains to Melanie that she really loved the feeling of being noticed and doted on because she's pregnant, which kind of relates to inside how we're talking about how you feel differently around somebody who's pregnant, like you're more careful around them, you're making sure they're okay, and Esther really liked that feeling, so that's why she wanted to get pregnant, but she was not interested at all in being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Melanie, like I said in the summary, was using her child to get attention. So she would go to these support groups and give this whole sob story about how her son was kidnapped, or her son and her husband were in a car accident and they're dead. And Esther catches her in doesn't catch her, but she sees her in a department store, and she pretends that her child is missing, and she gets all hysterical, and all of a sudden everybody's paying attention to her. And that's how she uses it, which I think is interesting because, just like we do with pregnant women, there's an importance to the mother figure, like in every culture. Moms are important.
Mm-hmm.
And which I realized before we started the stream, next weekend is Mother's Day in the U.S., so this really fits this theme.
Yeah, that is funny.
But I thought that was interesting, and it relates it to Inside, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I just don't even know where, like, this film has so many different topics, and I'm sure you get it too.
Yeah.
I just don't even know where to, like, keep going off, because it's almost like every single scene brings a new idea and a new theme to this, to the story.
What I described is just like the first half of the movie.
I'm just gonna chuck this earphones in because people said I have an echo. I'm just hoping it's not, just because. Okay, let me know if. I hope you can still hear Vicky. That's my only issue. Wait, Vicky, can you talk? And I don't think you can. The audio thing's not going. Okay, we're gonna have to. It's not gonna work otherwise. Okay. Oh wait, that is better. But is it better for Vicky? Sorry guys, this audio thing is killing me. Hang on. No Vicky. Yeah. See, it is what I thought it is.
We don't want to hear her talk anymore.
Okay, I know what it is. It's me. You're just picking up. I'm picking you up on my. Okay, is the echo really bad, guys? Please let me know. I'm really sorry. I thought I fixed this, but apparently I didn't.
Deal with it.
Oh god, that got really loud. Turning this down. Okay. Ah! What I didn't need. Audio issues right now. Settings. Sorry. Give me one moment. Oh, okay.
Not bad. Tom said better now. Are you doing something with audio? Is that why maybe you're...
I think that they say it's better, but then when they say it's better, it's just me talking. Okay, so if you want to say something. Let me know if you guys can hear Vicky. Let me know. Yeah, you guys, it's because I haven't got her input in there properly, guys. So you can, yeah. Ah! Yeah, my issue is it hasn't got Vicky in there for some reason, even though I'm using loop back. Loop back through, monitor through. Ah, it's so annoying. Wait, you say something now. Whoa, I'm hearing echo now. Okay, let me know. Sorry, guys. Everyone's like, turn up desktop. Dino, it's not desktop. It's the audio that I'm having. I can hear echo now. It's really bad. It's I'm hoping they can. No, okay. Before you plugged in, it was actually better. Okay. Ooh, I hope they can hear you.
Vicky, come back to it.
Okay. Ooh.
I haven't shut up this whole time.
Okay, now I can actually. Ah, so annoying. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why we should have just bothered not to didn't touch it and just kept on going. Okay, sorry guys. This is how it used to be before, and now everyone's like, oh my god, this is so good now, and I'm like, this is how it was at the start, guys. Before I started fucking shit around. It's just better if you can hear us both. I don't know why it does this. I just have so much issues with it. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. I'm sorry if you can hear a little bit of echo. Sorry guys. Okay, anyway, back on track. Okay, one thing I do want to say in relation to, it's really funny because when we did the Cannibal Holocaust and Green Inferno episodes, episode 1, we related them so much more, where this one is so, not even in the same ballpark, but something I do want to talk about is the the gore in Proxy, because the gore is definitely done in a different way where there isn't as much blood, but there's definitely some intense scenes. There is a bloody surgery scene when she has a miscarriage from her baby being beaten to death while it's in her stomach. And you actually see, it's actually really, really bad. You know when they took the baby out and you see it all?
Yeah.
And the baby just looks like a doll. It doesn't look real. But I do think that was an intense scene to show. I do think it was shown for a reason because, the movie is misleading you in different ways that it doesn't want you to think as well that there's, a living baby on the side and then that's going to come back into play somehow. So, the surgery scene, the death of the baby, this is the funny thing, well not funny, but this is the interesting thing about this movie, is that when they kill the baby, the infant in the stomach, and then you see it come out, it's not as shocking as what it would have been if you saw a toddler. This is just in my opinion. Another baby does die, a toddler. Thank you so much, Dino. You see it. There's a scene where it's inferred that the woman kills the baby, the toddler. Sorry, yeah. I'm not making any sense. The toddler, but you don't actually see the scene, and I think that they did this intentionally. Maybe one because it was just too brutal for them to kill a child. Two because logistics of killing a child in a movie, especially a low budget film. And I just thought it was really interesting that they didn't even bother trying to show that. But everything else was, off, nothing was off limits except for that. Which I thought was crazy. And then there's another scene where another death takes part, and it's done in the bathtub. It's all blood and guts. Like, literally, the guts of the person is, like, falling in the fucking sky. It's the most intense slow-mo scene I've ever seen. And I just thought it was really interesting that I felt those ones were a little bit even more intense than the ones in Inside, but only because Inside, the whole thing is gore.
Yeah.
So from start to end, you're very much, like, it's over sensory, you know what I mean? Like, you're just, like...
Yeah.
So when it's brought into this film, and there are more emotional connections with the characters, when they do die or something happens, it's just that much more intense. I don't know, what did you think about them not showing the death of the toddler?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I think when I saw you wrote budget on the notes, I thought that was an interesting. I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. To me, I thought maybe it was just because it's, that's like a hard thing anyway when that happens in real life, or like real horror stories of that happening. So I thought maybe they figured it would. It's like it speaks for itself,
Mm-hmm.
like how like distraught the parents would be and how intense and how tragic that is. So they didn't need to show it. I mean, they kind of show, like, him being held by
Mm-hmm.
his mother, like, like a limp body for, like, a split second. But I don't know. For me, it just made it, like, whenever it comes to violence like that, it's always more intense for me, like, not seeing it, like, play by play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's more like, like, I'm imagining in my head, like, okay, I know what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking terrible. For me, that's more intense. So
Yeah.
I think it would have lessened it a little bit for me if they had shown, like, a play-by-play of what she did.
Yeah, no, totally, and I agree with them. Yeah, not needing to do it. When I say budget for that, I just think, obviously having children on set, I think that if Tom's still in here, he'll know. You can only have them on set for a certain amount of hours, and then also just putting them through that is just intense. And anyway,
The poor child.
yeah, well, usually in any way that they can not have a child on set, like, work around it, is better. It's just going to work out better for them. So that's why I thought budget, because it is like a lower budget film. Very limited amount of time, says Tom.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was definitely the only relation, I guess, between Proxy and Inside. One thing I did think was really interesting, not gore-wise, but it's just so fucking interesting. In Proxy, everything is laid out. I like that they tried to include everyone in the situation. They have, like, a homosexual couple as well as a heterosexual couple. And everything is just, like, laid out on the table, including her body, which she's gone through, like, obviously a traumatic experience, losing her baby, and she has scars all over her stomach, and, like, just it's just a lot to look at. And I don't think I've ever seen this front on, and I mean, this is ignorance on my behalf, but I don't think I've ever seen this front on in any TV show or any movie, even if it is about, like, I fucking watch Teen Mom on MTV. They never show anything. It's one of those dirty little secrets where, a woman has a baby and then no one talks about what happens to her body afterwards. And this movie just all of a sudden decides it wants to be, like, the ringleader and and just, like, show that, which I've never seen it anywhere else. And, I'm not around pregnant women at all. So that was, like, quite confronting to me. Not in, like, a bad way, but I was just like, wow, they're, like, really showing everything. Like, so many other movies, someone will have a baby and you'll see them, like, naked in the shower or whatever, and it will be fine. But this one, it was funny because it was intentionally showing you. So there was a naked scene in the shower that didn't have to be there. Like, they could have so easily missed that, and to show her full frontal and all of her scars and stuff, I just thought was so interesting, and it was just such a raw, interesting part to put into the movie. Like I said, another aspect that didn't have to be there, but just had me like, what is going on in the mind of this filmmaker? Like, to feel like they had to include that, which was amazing, and I applaud it, but it was very interesting for the type of film it was. What did you think about that? Were you caught off guard by that?
Yes, 100%, because, like, same exact thing. Like, that's just something you don't ever see in any movies or television ever. Like Emma said, it's kind of like a taboo thing for whatever reason, or nobody wants to accept the fact that you're still a little unglamorous after you've given birth and everything. So yeah, I was totally taken aback, and I was kind of just like, oh. And me not being around pregnancy a lot either, like, even I didn't know about that. Thank you, Free Sheep. So I was kind of like, I kind of had a moment where I was like, oh, like, that's what that looks like.
Yeah.
Like, afterward. Like,
and it had nothing to do.
Ignorance on my part too.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah. I just thought that was super interesting and different.
Yeah. And then once you kind of get the meaning too, there is the meaning, like, at least I gleaned from it. She's looking at her stomach in the mirror once you know later that, because she's not pregnant anymore. And she kind of has, like, a few scenes afterward where she's kind of lost. And, like, she goes to the hospital or whatever, and is just kind of walking around, and she doesn't know what to do anymore, and she's invisible again, I guess, as she would put it.
Yeah. So in her, that's exactly how she put it as well. For her, Munchausen, I'm going to just refer to her as Munchausen. I don't know if that's what it is that she actually has, but Felicia, you made such a good point that I'm going to stick with it. With that, the whole reason behind her thinking is that she believes that when people are pregnant, they just get attention from everyone, and everyone just wants to be around them, wants to do things for them, they have this glow. And so she always wants to be pregnant, but she never wants to have a child. And she does say this. It's just such an interesting concept. And I guess, like, when you twist and turn through the whole film, it's just so interesting that not only was that a simple, I mean, if you just took that and cut that out, that'd just be a simple straight line concept, but also to add in the extra person who she meets, who also has Munchausen, and you just think that she is out of her mind by assuming that this other woman is anything like her. I just love how they make you think that these two people, I don't want to say normal, but don't have these issues. And it's so clever the way they keep the audience in the dark for so long, and then you realise who the fucked up people actually are. I'm sorry, that's probably really bad to say fucked up, but they are pretty, like, killing babies, you know? Yes. So, give me a fucking bone there. It's so interesting. I just, like, seriously, I cannot say enough about it. It was just insane. Yeah.
And there's it's really interesting how they mirror each other too. How we have Esther, who loves being pregnant, doesn't want to be a mom, no interest in that. And Melanie, who clearly does love her child after, you know, Esther murders him. You know, she does love her child, and yet she is constantly pretending that he is dead. Yeah. So, like, wants to be a mom, pretends that she's not. Other gets pregnant, doesn't want to be a mom. I thought that was really interesting mirror, and especially how the movie is set up too. Like, it is kind of like a mirror. Like, we focus on Esther up until the point of her death, and then we flip flop, and then we're focused on Melanie. Sorry. Yeah. I think we already said that. Right?
I love a good film that you think is going one way and then just completely flips on its head. Yeah. I don't know. This film just had me, like, thinking for ages. And if you guys, I promise we still haven't ruined it. By the way, that was a joke to CP when I said, hey. I feel like even as much as we can talk about this film until, like, we're red in the face, if you watch it, you'll still be surprised, because it is so confronting seeing these types of themes, and so many of them in a film. Is just fucking insane. What else have we got on this one? Have we spoken about the? I mean, you want to say the Rosemary's Baby attachment? Did we talk about?
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting because I read that Esther Woodhouse, our main character, one of our main characters, was intentionally named after Rosemary's Baby, her last name. So I was like, okay, well, let's think about this movie in terms of Rosemary's Baby. Why not? And I guess, I mean, it is interesting if you look at it like Rosemary's Baby. In the movie, she has no control over her body, really. You know, she has all these outside people, like, affecting her pregnancy. Whereas we have Esther, who I think has too much control over her pregnant body, in the fact that she's getting pregnant on purpose and then literally I don't think we've said this yet, spoiler, has her girlfriend, I guess you could call her, weird relationship with this person.
Yeah.
Fucked up relationship with this person.
It's really bad.
Has her beat her stomach and knock her out and do this to her intentionally. So she has too much control.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, which was one of the misleading things at the start when you see someone run up and, hammer into this woman's stomach. You believe, for some reason, it's some, kid on the street because he's wearing, I keep saying he, even though we know it's a woman, wearing a hoodie, and you just see, the sneakers, and it just makes it look like a kid, though, doesn't it? Like, the way that picks up the rock, that woman who actually does it, she is a woman, she is, in her 30s to almost 40s, I'd say, I don't know, late 30s, she's fully developed. She does not look like a child at all, and I think that was so misleading. But again, it just makes you think, and it's just so interesting because you get preconceived ideas about people, and then it just completely flips you on your head. And I love that because mental illness is so much about that, and I know everyone in the chat can totally agree with this. It's definitely what you see on the outside is not what is happening on the inside, and that's on all cases, pretty much, 99%. And I thought that was such a cool approach because as an audience member, you're just what is going on? And something's a little bit off, but you're not really sure. And I just think that was a great way to put through that message. She is old. So Dina just said, what? There was something else I had on that. I've forgotten now. Yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, the relationship, that's it. So the relationship between the two women is another thing that they touch on. It's not enough to touch on pregnancy, Munchausen, obviously mental illness, death of a child. They also focus on abusive relationships, and I totally think that it's such a weird power play because it goes from her having too much power to wanting to get rid of her baby to her also being the submissive one in a relationship with her girlfriend or a partner. I don't really think you're right to say I don't know if it's her girlfriend because it seems like she's definitely the side chick in the situation. She's being told what to do, when to call her back, very abusive language, very controlling, and it was just another aspect that was put in there. And this woman, the reason she cannot get her shit together and get help is because she has no one that is willing to actually help her. And then when she finally meets this person at the support group, it turns out that she has the same, illness as she does. And it's just this cycle of abuse and, not being able to get help because no one wants help. And that's a huge thing, I guess, in mental illness as well, is you can't get help unless you want it. You can't receive it. There's just so many different layers. I know we're probably there's just so much in this film. It's insane. I wonder how many people in the chat has actually seen the film. I guess, Felicia, I'm sure you've seen it. I mean, you have a better understanding than us, so I hope you've seen it. So that's really embarrassing for us, isn't it?
She's schooling us, and I've seen it, just smarter.
Yeah, I don't know. There was so much going on, and I don't know. Did you find? I mean, have we touched on everything? I don't even know. There's so much.
I know there is. And there's even we haven't even talked about the ending. There's so much to this movie that we haven't even.
I'm trying to even think.
I don't feel bad about talking so much about it because there's still so much we haven't even touched on.
Okay, well at least Alicia's seen it, and Azul, I believe that's how I say the name, and Zachary, you watched it today. I hope that we what is going on? Everyone's getting mad about people saying old. Sorry guys. I'm old. I'm 28. I'm going to get so much shit for that. I'm joking.
I'm not old.
I'm glad that we made Zachary watch it. I'm really interested to see what you guys thought of the film, though. Please tell us in the comments, because we, literally I could talk about this film all day, and it's one of those films that I really wish I would have seen with somebody, because it was just afterwards, I was like, holy fuck. I'm going to find the messages I sent to Vicky in the middle of it, because it's so funny. She's just like, okay. And I'm like, oh my god.
Well, because I still thought it was about something else. I was like, oh shit, it's really intense and gory. Nope, that's not what she meant.
Okay. So I said, have you started watching the films? Starting Proxy now. And then me, like, a couple minutes later, this movie is fucking crazy. And then Vicky's like, only rewatch Inside on the weekend, going to watch Proxy tonight. And then I'm like, I'm not kidding, Proxy is nothing like we thought. It's an insane roller coaster, and I'm only halfway through. And Vicky's like, oh shit, I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. I'm like, it's not what we thought at all, but it's still pretty controversial. Oh yeah, and then I just started talking about thumbnails. Anyway, but it was just so funny because I was just like, anyway.
And then when I finally watched it, I'm just like, this was a movie.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god, I can't get over it. I haven't seen a movie like that in a while that has made me just flip out. You know, like what am I watching? Yeah. Okay. So where were we? So we've done child deaths. This is the themes: child deaths, untouched body shots, mental illness. Sorry. You've talked about pregnancy, means of attention, which is, I guess, Munchausen. We've talked about the abusive relationship. We've talked about Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, I don't know. Do we cover everything from that? I guess the other thing is in assault, which I guess is the main thing in pregnancy films, which wraps around to the start about people only. It's only worth caring about people because they're pregnant. They make it seem like that, or it's just like a higher stake. And the assault scenes in this film resulting in miscarriage, obviously the abusive relationship, and the death scenes are very intense. So if you find assault, especially like I was going to say physical assault, but offensive, you'll definitely find this film offensive. But Vicky, did you find this film offensive?
I guess I could say a little bit, just going off of the definition, like, you know, being offended in part means getting, like, something making you mad or annoyed, and I feel like this movie kind of, on purpose, exploited how people feel about pregnancy in movies, like how there is that higher stake, like you care about them more. I feel like the movie definitely on purpose played with that idea, like especially with the opening and throughout, like of motherhood and child death. I feel like it was really exploiting that. So in that sense, I could see it being offended by it, because it was I felt like a little bit it was doing it for the sake of doing it.
Shock value?
Yeah, for shock value. A little bit. Like, there's a whole lot deeper to it, but I feel like the director, at least from that quote, for sure, it was very aware of what he was doing and what kind of story he wanted to make. So in that sense, I could say it's offensive, but I'm not so offended that I wouldn't watch this movie again.
But you wouldn't say it's like the shock value, like in Cannibal Holocaust. Like, that's a very different shock value.
Yes. No, yeah, we're talking about, like, completely different things with those two movies. Like, I'm nowhere near, like, if we were to put them on the same plane, I'm nowhere near as offended with Proxy as I was with Cannibal Holocaust.
If you had a friend who was going to, like, at your house and you had to watch this movie while they were there, how would you warn them about this and they weren't into, like, horror movies? Like, warning, you might find this film offensive because, you know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah. I would, I don't know if I would word it like that, like, you might find this film offensive. I'd be like, this film is intense, and it's gonna go a lot of places. Like, it's just intense. That's the only thing you really can say, like, to prepare for this movie. Like, how do you prepare to watch this movie?
Yeah. No, that's, like, intense is the right word.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know how to, like, lead somebody into. I would probably just do, like, the same thing, like, try and set up the same situation where I watch it, like, just sit down and watch it and not really know what you're getting into. Because then you can kind of be taken along for the ride with the movie. Like, I feel like if you set it up, it maybe, I don't think it would lessen anything, but I'd probably just try and let them sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're going to watch this. I'm not going to tell you anything. Get ready.
Tom, everyone's giving me so much shit for saying old. I just meant older than a teenager. When you see the movie, the person with the hood looks like literally like a teenager or a little kid who's like, you have to see what I'm saying. And when I said, but they're not that person, they're old, I meant like they're grown. That's what I meant. I don't mean like, come on, guys.
She's an adult, not a child.
Yeah.
Old in the sense that
I know I look like I'm 12 years old, but it just, I understand that people here. Anyway, Tom says that you should just tell them it's a musical rom-com if you were like sitting down with somebody. I don't know how that would work, but
that's cruel.
So there you go. Zachary thought it was a kid too. It looks like a child, like running through the street, and you're meant to be misled because of it. Everyone's. I shouldn't give you guys this, like me trying to like explain myself, because then you guys just give me more shit and it just does not work out. Turns into like me trying to fix the audio, and then like 10 minutes later we're like, let's just go back to how we were before.
We're like digging deeper and deeper.
People like winding me up, and I'm such an easy target. Fuck you guys. I'm very aware of this, and I cannot do anything about it. I would say definitely that the film treads very carefully down the line of being offensive because of mental illness. It's not an educational film. Mental illness in movies has to be, taken very lightly, and I felt like, they did kind of utilize the twists and turns with that, with people not realizing the symptoms of Munchausen and misleading the audience. I would say that that's the only offensive thing for me. Children dying in films. I don't know why I'm laughing. Children dying in films. I was just thinking about. I keep walking. This is why I don't lie shit. Children dying in films, kind of for me relates back to dying. Cannibal Holocaust, when we were talking about how I didn't really care if like people died, because there was real animal deaths in that, and I thought the real animal deaths were more intense than people dying. Children dying in films, yes, I do think that it is awful, and I do think it's a cheap fucking spot. There was no animal deaths in this film, surprisingly. Was there? I don't think there was. Was there? No, there was one in Inside, though. She gets the cat, and she...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which was such a quick kill. But anyway, I think it is offensive, and I think that it depends how it's brought around. In some films, a child will die at the start, especially to set up a premise and to kind of unhinge the characters. In this film, it is offensive because halfway through the film at the start of the film one dies, but halfway through the film, a second one dies, and you already have that emotional attachment and know the emotional attachment between the parents and the kids. And that is, that's what people say, that one of the worst things that can happen to you is like have a child, a death of a child. So I do think that also is walking a very fine line, because it is doing it just to wind you up, as you guys all in the chat are doing to me. So I think that the mental illness and the death of a child is probably the most offensive things. Abuse, I thought that was really interesting in this film, because I think that it didn't, not that you can really glamorize abuse, unless you're Lana Del Rey, I don't think you can. But I just, I don't know if you got that reference. But I just feel like at least it showed it in its true form, and you could understand it from her side. Which I thought was interesting. And I did also really, really like the fact that they showed a woman's body exactly how it is after she gives birth. So there are some redeeming qualities, which they try and give you something back, but also taking away those pretty intense scenes. You kind of left in the middle where you're like, was this offensive, was it not? Like, I'm still, as I said, on the line.
Yeah, it's
Did that make any sense?
To pinpoint how you feel about this movie. Like, I feel like it kind of just happened to me, and I'm just like left like I'm like Esther in the hospital. Like,
I know. And you just like turn off your fucking TV, and you're just like, cool. And I'll just go to bed now. It's definitely a film that leaves you, which makes me like. You haven't seen Compliance yet. You hadn't seen it last time we spoke, have you? That will kill you. Like, it killed me. As a woman, it will fucking kill you.
No.
Wow. Yeah, so I would love to see your face after that. Actually, if we do that as one of the other ones that we do, I'm gonna make you film straight afterwards your initial reaction, and I'll put it up. We'll put it up on the live stream.
If we do that, I will do that.
Because that film shook me to my core. Like, literally, like, woke up in the middle of the night, like, holy fuck, that's real.
Shit.
Yeah. Whoa. Diva Duck says more dead baby jokes, please. Okay. Yeah, not that kind of live stream. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so
Compliance is on Shudder. Thank you, Zachary.
So, I do think that this film can be seen as offensive. Completely.
Mhm.
Completely 100%. Did I find it offensive? Maybe a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like on some level, yes.
Diva Ducks is saying, "Is joke, don't wind me up." I'm gonna wind someone else up, then the spotlight's off me.
God.
Oh god. Okay. So should we check out the poll?
Yeah. Let me just refresh.
I felt like that was just a word vomit, like a lot of that. But
the movie is like, it's just all of these things just.
It is like a vomit of ideas, isn't it? Like very intense ideas.
Okay, so I feel like there's only 7 votes. Who have not voted? There's 20-something of you watching.
Okay, wait. We'll throw to you guys. Go check out the.
Yeah.
There is on Twitter. There is a poll on Vicky's or my. I shared the tweet. If you guys find them offensive, let us know.
I feel like the result as it is right now is probably because I misspelled Proxy for one.
How did you misspell Proxy? Of all the words,
I forgot the X.
You're meant to be the good speller here. Fuck. What if
in a rush, you were in the middle of like being late for the stream, and then I was like, oh fuck the poll.
Oh yeah. Okay. Poll is rigged. They didn't see Proxy.
That's what I was gonna say. I think mostly it's because most people haven't seen Proxy.
Okay. So what was the result?
Right now, as it stands, it's 71% to Inside, 29% to Proxy. Or Croy, as I saw.
Yeah. Well, I don't think a lot of people have seen Proxy from what I can see on this chat. I definitely recommend you guys to go check them out because, it will just, like, even us talking about it still doesn't do it justice, like, 100%. I do have a little game set up for you guys. Let me just send this to my phone.
I know, John. I know. It says Croy. I was in a hurry. Shit, I'm gonna have to delete that afterward now because I misspelled it.
Oh no. Oh my god, I put on the wrong date for one of the I don't know if you noticed. For one of the Twitter things, did you see that?
Oh, did you?
That's why I deleted it. I was like, oh shit. Because I put up my date. Yeah, thank you for everyone for hanging around. I know that we haven't got a huge stream this time. I feel like I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
Alright, now they're winding me up.
Wind someone else up. I really appreciate you guys all coming. And sticking by us. Okay. I have a little game for you guys though. So we decided because we were picking out films that are meant to be offensive, I would pick up some quotes from films that I'm sure you guys have all seen. These are very popular films. Some of them not even horror movies. One of them not a horror movie. And I thought that you guys can guess what films these are from. Okay, so the first quote. Do you want to know why I use a knife? Guns are too quick. So I'll let you guys reply to that. But the point of this little game is to pretty much show that there are offensive things like snuck into, though these films are quite like intense anyway, there are offensive terms snuck into films all the time and people don't even realize. Like, I think that's pretty fucking creepy. Do you want to know why I use a knife? Guns are too quick. Oh my god, okay, John won, but no Google. I can't tell if you guys are using Google or not. Oh my god, thank you, Diva Ducks. I love, like, forever on my channel, Diva Ducks, is going to be, like, this moment in chat where you're, like, for the dead baby joke, and it's, like, try getting a job after this. It's, like, going to be on the internet forever that you've just given me money to pay us off for your dead baby joke. You're the best. Yes, it is Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. Okay, the next one. Don't use Google, guys. The next one. I'm going to do something now they used to do in Vietnam. It's called making a head on a stick. Ah! It's so bad because if someone does send a offensive joke and it like filters it out, they can see because it's screen recorded from like Tropic Thunder.
Sadly, no.
No. Oh my god! Everyone keeps saying Tropic Thunder!
Tropic Thunder! Wolf Creek.
Yes, it's Wolf Creek! Promise is from Australia, so that works. Promise, whereabouts are you from? My Little Pony. Okay, next one. Oh, this one is probably one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. I bet you can squeal like a pig. Do you know the scene? Oh, it's so fucked up. I hate it. Central Queensland. Cool. Cool. Central, like in the middle of the bush. Yeah, Deliverance, babe. Deliverance is so fucked up. You've seen Deliverance, right, Vicky?
Yes.
Oh my god, does that, like, I guess it's the male on male rape, which, like, does it for everybody. Like, that is the most...
You never see that, like, ever.
No, you don't, and it's just the most... Yes, it is Deliverance. Good work, everyone. You're all really fucked up. Okay. I think we've got two more. I'm giving very serious thought into eating your wife. I think this one is, like, very, like, obvious. Deliverance made banjos popular again. Yeah, totally. You can't understand what I'm saying? Sorry, it's obviously, number one, I have a fucking accent. Number two, I have a cold that I can't get rid of.
I'm glad you said it first. Like it's the accent.
I should just pretend like it's not. Hey, Nightmare Files. I say fails. Nightmare Files. Shit. I'm like totally fucked up. Hannibal. Yes, you are right. Diva Docs, you got it right.
Yay.
Casey, that's also not funny. It's really rude. Okay. Okay, last one. I love this film. I get this... Wait, that's not the quote. This is the quote. I get this egg, and I thought it was for sex, but it's to tear everything to fucking pieces. I don't know if much of you will get this without typing into Google. I can see you all. Like, I can see you, like... I don't believe you for 1 minute.
One answer is, that's me on a daily basis.
Ginger snaps!
Yay!
Felicia said, a film professor in uni... Wait, a film professor from uni. I did my undergrad and talked about film... About male rape... Sorry, like, I can't understand that first sentence. How male and male rape shock people more than female rape often. Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. Hey, thank you for joining. Yeah, I think it's just because people don't see it very much. If they made a male-on-male rape movie with a woman who's pregnant and showed her full frontal body, that would be disturbing, right? I like how that is more disturbing than the rape for the female, because have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? My god, I can't get my shit together. How many rapes did we count on that? 5?
Oh. Is that?
Yeah. Huh? I can't even think. The woman on the field is like the worst, and they just keep going back and forth. Anyway, love this conversation. This is online forever. I keep thinking about that all the time. I'm like, wow. Dig deep. Okay. Should we go back to the poll? Wait, we already said the answer. I don't think it's any. It has changed.
Yeah. Oh, It did change slightly.
Great.
Now it's 56% to inside, 44% to.
Nice.
Proxy.
I think Emma's drunk already. Sorry, guys. It's just my cold. Like, I can't. I'm sure you can hear I'm, like, very chesty. People at work have bronchitis.
The coffee brought it to her.
Yeah. Put caffeine and then my cold as well. It's really bad. Anyway, should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Unless you guys have any other questions, we played our little game. We talked a little word vomit about Proxy. That was an insane movie. If you guys do have any other ideas for films you want us to watch, or even themes that you think are offensive in horror movies, if there is anything that offends you in a horror movie, just a theme or an idea, please let us know in the comments, because we can look them up and find the appropriate movies to match that. And we're still trying to do these like once a month, so I really appreciate you guys for coming. And if you do like it, give it a thumbs up. I know it's so lame, but it does help for me to see, you know, what's worth streaming and stuff like that. Even though we're doing this anyway, because this is one of my favorite things.
Because we don't care if it offends you.
Yeah. So Felicia said mental illness, yes. Do a poll for next month. The thing is, we have like a lot of movies already on our backlog where we're thinking that are offensive, and I think that we just want to make sure that everything matches up. A poll for is going to be so hard. Split versus something else. We did talk about doing that. For, I was going to say borderline personality. For, what is it called now?
Dissociative identity disorder.
Sorry, I'm dying. Yes, genital horror, or do you mean like genital mutilation, which we have touched on in The Green Inferno.
We did, yeah.
Oh my god, I love Clockwork Orange.
Ooh.
Again, like rape, like everything that is like crazy is just because of the rape, I swear.
Yeah.
Such a good movie though.
Mm-hmm.
Teeth versus One-Eyed Monster, what? Rape revenge movies, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we had something different this time.
Yeah.
That didn't involve that, because it's a lot, you know?
It is.
Yeah, we got the rape, guys. Everyone just keeps like naming movies. I think we have written down most of these ones. I haven't got Clockwork Orange, so I'll definitely put that in there as an idea.
Okay, yeah.
Especially if there's another one that we can do that is, what do you call it? Not shock therapy, but you know, like with, you know how he's getting like the therapy to make him not think of violent. You know how he's like, you know, the whole fucking.
Oh.
I guess like any.
Yeah, I don't know what they call that.
Any type of like shock therapy. If we could pair that with that, it would work.
Yeah.
Butt burn. Okay. Butt burn. I don't. Is that a movie?
I'm scared.
He's just like saying random words. Revenge versus the Seasoning House. Yes. Something with Nazis, maybe.
No.
Lobotomy. Lobotomy is like a pretty harsh topic, but I guess, I mean, yeah, you could pair that with lobotomy, but it's like, it's a little bit different. Visual brainwashing. I think it's meant to be like what do you call it though? I forget like the actual name. It's because you're like, I don't know.
Like kind of like rewiring the way, but I don't.
It is brainwashing to an extent, but I don't know what the actual term is. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think I've seen Seasoning House. Sex trafficking is something that actually, I mean, I'm sure for everybody, that really affects me. Sex trafficking, like, that's like one of my nerves, like in a movie like that. It's awful. So that could be something that we could talk about, sex trafficking.
Yeah.
It's just fucking, reprogramming, I guess. Anyway. All movies, do movies that try to be smarter than they are count? I do find that offensive.
What?
Yeah. 8mm, 88mm. Oh yeah, snuff films would be a good one. Snuff films would be a great one, actually. We should definitely write that one down.
Yeah, great. Snuff films. They're great.
This is so damning to my reputation. My like, professional reputation. Director's cut of Natural Born Killers. You guys are really good. Like, you've got actually a lot of really good suggestions, so thank you. We'll take notes of all of these, and I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry if this was an inconvenient time, or the stream was late, or whatever happened. I know we didn't get as much people on here as we normally do, so I really appreciate you guys being here. Someone just said, talked about Tusk. I love Tusk. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Do you like Tusk? Oh my god, I love it. It's so brilliant. I love Justin Long. I think it's just amazing. People were talking about it would be so good to get the possibility of Drag Me to Hell too. And I was like, it'd be so funny if Justin was like the walrus, like in that, like came back as like like a Tusk and like Drag Me to Hell. I would love that. It would be the best. Anyway, do you want to finish up by saying anything? Do you have anything you want to add? Oh, obviously go check out Vicky's channel if you're not subscribed. Please check it out. I believe I put a card up here. I don't know if it's worked. There was a card earlier that had Vicky's channel on there. But Nightmare Maven. I'm not sure if I don't think I put it down in the description. But I will put it in the description if you're watching this later. But yeah, just type in Nightmare Maven and subscribe.
And thank you guys for watching. Sorry that I was late again. I won't make promises. I'm hosting it next time. I'm not promising anything. Thank you guys for listening to us like ramble on about pregnancy and movies. It didn't get as heated as I thought it would, like two ladies talking about pregnancy, so I'm proud of us.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes, happy Revenge of the 5th tomorrow. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know what that means. Is that like a Star Wars thing?
Star Wars.
Or is it Star Trek? We made this joke earlier, never mind. It's been like a long time, Dino. How long has it been? Yeah, an hour and a half. That's about as long as last time. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, guys. And we hope to see you soon. Oh, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. And we hope to see you guys again soon. I was going to say stay spooky, but that's not our sign off. Stay tuned for updates of the next one.